Welcome back. So we are continuing JavaScript. We have seen the basics of JavaScript. JavaScript is a client-side scripting language. Client-side scripts are embedded in HTML pages. We use the script tag to embed script codes in HTML page. And script tag has an attribute named language, which is used for specifying which scripting language is used to write the script. Now the next is function in JavaScript. We are familiar with functions in C++. As we all know, a function is a named set of instructions which is used for or which is written for performing a specific task. It can be invoked or it can be called and executed any number of times with its name. The concept is similar here. So in JavaScript, a function is a group of instructions with a name. We give a name for the function. That function is identified by that name, and there will be a lot of instructions to perform the task which is to be done or which is to be performed when this function is called or invoked. JavaScript has a lot of built-in functions that can be used for different purposes. JavaScript has, as in the case of C++, JavaScript has two types of functions, built-in functions as well as user-defined functions. So there are a lot of built-in functions in JavaScript. We will discuss in this chapter later. And besides these built-in functions, we can define our own functions that are called user-defined functions. The advantage of using a function is that if we need to execute a piece of program code more than once in a web page, the code has to be written only once within the function. If we perfectly write code for performing a particular task in a web page when it is being executed, we can call it or we can use it or we can invoke that function any number of times with that using the name for the function. We can call the function any number of times to execute it. So what could be the advantages of using function? Reduces the size of the program or script, easy to develop, error free or easy to debug, less memory is required. All these are advantages. Now, how we will define a function in JavaScript? We have seen some syntax in C++. Here the syntax is a little bit different. The syntax is we use the keyword function to define a function. And after that keyword, we will give the name. It will be an identifier. Then parenthesis. Inside the parenthesis, there can be parameters. Then curly braces. Closing curly brace. Within the curly braces, there will be number of statements. So this is the syntax of a function. So a function in JavaScript is defined with the keyword function. The function is identified by its name, function name. It can have arguments or parameters. And the job is to be done or the task is to be done is done with the help of the statements written in between two curly braces. Now let us see an example. Function display. Here display is the name of the function. Function is the keyword. We are using 0 arguments here. Then document.write hello JavaScript. This is the only statement in the display function. The statement that we have already seen in previous session. So this is the way of defining a user defined function. Now a function is defined, some briefing about this function. A function is defined using the keyword function. A function is identified by its name. A function will not execute automatically. This is an important point that we all must understand. A function, if written in an HTML page, as in the case of other codes, a function will not be executed automatically. Even if it is in the body section, it will not be executed. In order to execute a function, in order to invoke a function, a call is compulsory. We must call that function in order to get executed. A function call is required to invoke a function. Now, the function display can be called or invoked using the statement display. This is the function called. Name of the function, parenthesis, and semicolon. So, a function call is name of the function itself followed by a semicolon. This will invoke the display function if it is defined in our web page. Now, another important point is usually it is not mandatory. Usually the custom that we use is usually the functions are defined in head section of HTML page, that is between head and head. So while we designing web pages and writing the code for web page, the custom used is function definitions are placed in between head and head. Obviously it will be within script tags. Now here is an example, HTML head. Here we have title. Then in between this head and head, that is in the head section, we are writing a function. See, here we are writing the function in JavaScript. So we have used here script. Language is JavaScript. So the function display, then curly braces and the code. Head is closed. Then body section. Display. This call is necessary to get the output. Otherwise, it will not be executed. Now let us see an example. Here, a function. So this is an example. HTML. This is the example that we have seen there. Now it is saved. I am going to execute that. Double click on that. Hello JavaScript. Now suppose in this code I am going to remove the statement and save it. Now again I am calling this function. See, there is no output. Even though there is code, even though there is function defined, we are not getting the output. Why? Because there is no function call. Now let us see this example again. I am writing this display here. Display, and I am saving. Now again I am going to just close this. Again the function is called. Now hello JavaScript is here. And now once again see this. I am using one more display here. Again I am going to call this function the second call, right? And I have saved. Now see this fun. Hello JavaScript, right? Now I'm going to mix this with hello JavaScript. After this JavaScript, let me include a beyond, a break. Now I have saved this, and again I am going to run this section. See, so we are mixing this HTML code and JavaScript code. Hello JavaScript. And see here, suppose that we are going to discuss again varx for x equal to 1, x less than or equal to 10, x plus plus, and being deleted. So I am putting this call in a loop, right? We will see the details, detailed control structures in C++ later. Now this is saved, and I'm going to call this function again. See? So in this way, a function can be called any number of times. Okay. So these are the basics of functions in JavaScript. Now let us see some questions. Say whether the following statements are true or false. A function is automatically executed when the browser opens the web page. That we have seen, it will not be automatically executed. So the statement is false. In order to execute a function, it must be called. So that statement is false. Now, a function is usually placed in the head section of a web page. Yes, that is true, but it is not mandatory, it is not compulsory. Usually, the practice that we follow is to place this function definition in head section. A function can be called any number of times. True, that we have seen any number of times a function can be easily called. Even though a function is defined in the body of section, it will not be executed if it is not called. True, a function anywhere it is written, anywhere it is defined, what is required? A call is required. List the advantages of using functions in JavaScript. In JavaScript also, all the advantages that are we have discussed with the C++ functions. Reduces script complexity, reduces code size, easy debugging and coding. A function can be called and used any number of times. These are the advantages. And now we shall move to data types in JavaScript. We have seen integer, float, double, character, long integer, long double, all these data types in C++. Why we are using these data types? Data types are used for handling and manipulating data, different types of data. Here also, in JavaScript also, we are handling different types of data. So, in any programming language or scripting language, there will be data types. Data types will be different from language to language. So, there are no such keywords in JavaScript. In C++, it is a little bit the use is little bit restricted. We have to make use of the special keywords for special type of data, and we have to declare those variables, and then only we can use data in those variables. But here there are no such keywords in JavaScript. There are data types, but there are no keywords like int, float, char, etc. In JavaScript, the data types are basically classified into three. They are number, string, and boolean. So what are the data types in JavaScript? Your answer will be number, string, and boolean. All the numbers, whether it is positive numbers, negative numbers, larger numbers, smaller numbers, double precision numbers, any number, floating point number, any number, all these numbers fall into the category number. But there is no keyword for declaring this variable. We call all the numbers, all the numerical data as a number. So all numbers fall into this category. All positive and negative numbers, all integers and float values, fractional numbers are treated as the data type number. Thus 27 minus 300, 1.89 and minus 0.0082 are examples of number type data in JavaScript. Now the second category is string. Any combination of characters, whether it is a single character or a empty character, there is no character, null character, character or number combination, any symbol combination enclosed within double quotes. Any symbols enclosed within double quotes are treated as string in JavaScript. That is Kerala, welcome, school, 1234, mark 20, ABC dollar, Sanilet 123 are examples of string type data. All these are strings. Anything put inside double quotes are treated as strings. Then boolean. The third data type in JavaScript is boolean, which has only two values, true or false. Always small true, small false. Not in capital. These are keywords usually, or these values are specially defined, true, false. True indicates a binary 1, false indicates a binary 0. Note that the values are not in double quotes. If true is put inside double quotes or false is put inside double quotes, it will be a string. If they are put inside double quotes, it will be considered as string. Not only that, like C++ JavaScript, also case sensitive. That is, if you want to specify a true boolean value, it should be small letter true. If you want to specify a false boolean value, it will be small letter false. So capital true, capital false will not be equivalent to the actual small letter true and small letter false. So the data types are number, string and boolean. Now variables in JavaScript. Actually this variables comes in conjunction with or subsequent to these data types. Here also in JavaScript also we are using variables. Variables are used for storing values. Variables are named memory locations, that all we know. Variables are named memory locations. Names are given for our easy programming. In JavaScript, variables can be declared using the keyword var as given below. In C++, int x means x is an integer variable. It's a declaration. Float y means y is declared as a floating point variable. Char c means c is a variable declared as its data type is character. But here, all the variables, all the data types, that is why either it is number or string or boolean, All the variables are declared using the keyword var, small var. Here, an example is given var x. Here x is the name of the variable. X is the name of the variable. Like C++, a variable can be given any name as you like, with only one restriction, that it must be a valid identifier. Any name can be given. All the rules applicable in C++ are applicable here also. It must start with an alphabet. Digits can be used, underscore can be used, no special characters are allowed. All these rules are to be abide, and you can give any name for a JavaScript variable. Now, we have used the keyword int, float, char, etc. to declare different data types of variables in C++, but in JavaScript, the same keyword var is used to declare all the type of variables. In JavaScript, merely declaring a variable does not define the variable. The variable definition is complete only when it is assigned a value. var x, if you stop there, x is nothing actually. In order to become x alive, if we want to give x a life, it must be given an initial value. It must be assigned with some values. Then only x becomes active. JavaScript understands the type of variable only when value is assigned to that variable. So if we declare a variable x, var x, the type of that x will be determined only when some value is initialized to that variable. Let us see some example here. Consider the following declaration. Variable x, y, two variables are declared. X equal to 25, y equal to India. X is initialized with a number, and y is initialized with a string. So, even though we say that x is of number type and y is of string type, note that we do not specify them in code segments. We are doing nothing with that, simply initializing that value. Now see some example here. JavaScript. Within the script tag, we have A, B, C, D, E, F. So 6 variables declared, and we are initializing A equal to 25, B equal to 18.5, C equal to India, D equal to true. Here D equal to true without double quotes. Here equal to true within double quotes. Now this code is written in order to see the type of variable. So without discussing, we are introducing a variable, a function here, a built-in function here, type of. Actually this function is used to return or to give the type of a variable in a program. So we are using this type of variable here. So document writing A is of type. See here we have initialized A equal to 25. So the type of A, we know that since it is 25, this will be a number. Here 18.5 is also a number. This is a string. This is boolean. This is a string. So here we want to display the type of those variables. The function used is type of. Line by line, all these variables, the type of all these variables are displayed here. Now let us see that code here. A data type. Oh, not bad. So that code here, we have seen that code. Now I'm going to execute that. See, A is of type number, B is of type number, C is string, D is boolean, E is string, F is of type undefined. F is not given initial value, so it is undefined. So in this way, the type of variables can be found. Another example, to add two numbers inside HTML script, we have defined a function add. Name of the function is add. We have three variables m, n, sum. M is initialized with 20, n is 10, sum is equal to m plus n, document.write sum is equal to document.write sum. See, something like cout. And here the operators are similar to that of C++ here. We shall discuss in the coming session. So here 20 and 10 will be added and the result will be 30. Let us see that here data type add. We have seen the code already and we are executing that. So sum equal to 30. So a lot of codes are there, but simple. The result is sum equal to 30, right? So now we shall see the operators in JavaScript. The operators are similar to that in C++. Important operators, arithmetic operators are there, relational operators, logical operators, then some arithmetic assignment operator, some special operators like concatenation operator, etc. So what are the arithmetic operators? All these we are familiar when we learned C++, plus, minus, star, slash, percentage is modulus, plus, minus, minus, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus, increment, decrement. Modulus, as we all know, that is, it gives the integer remainder after division. If y is 15, y mod 2, y will be divided by 2, then 2 into 7, that is 14, then remaining 1 is the remainder. So that will be the result. Increment, plus, first increment and pre-increment, that all we know. Updation after execution, updation before execution. Here plus y, updation before execution. Y plus updation after execution. The same way decrement also. Then comes arithmetic assignment operator, plus equal to, minus equal to. Equal to is the assignment operator, plus equal to means a plus equal to 10 means a equal to a plus 10. A minus equal to b means a equal to a minus b. And so on, plus equal to, minus equal to, star equal to, slash equal to, percentage equal to. All these are known to us. Then relational operators, equal to, not equal to, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, greater than. See, the result of a relational operation will be a Boolean value. A equal to 10, b equal to 20, a greater than b. We are asking whether a is greater than b. Then the answer is no. No means false. Suppose a equal to 10 and b equal to 5. You are asking whether a is greater than b. Yes, the answer is yes. Yes means the result is true. So in that way, that operators work. Then logical operators and, or, not. Double and stands for and, double or. So usually this is used for combining two expressions made up of relational operators, and it will work based on a truth table for and. If both the results are true, then the result will be true, otherwise it will be false. In the case of or, if any one of the input is true, the output will be true, otherwise if both are false, it will be false. And not for negation, not before true, it becomes not true, the result will be false. Not false, it becomes true. Then an additional operator, the string operator. We have seen plus is used as an arithmetic operator for performing addition on numbers. Here plus is also used for concatenation of strings or joining two strings. Operator plus is used to add two strings, or adding two strings means concatenating two strings. Jai Bharat. Jai is one string, Bharat is another string. If you are concatenating, it becomes Jai Bharat. Then Hindustan Petroleum. Hindustan is one word, petroleum is another word, Hindustan Petroleum. Concatenate means Hindustan Petroleum becomes one word. So here is an example. We have variable x, y, a good beginning, y makes a good ending, z equal to x plus y. Here this plus, since x or y is a string, instead of adding these two, arithmetic addition, instead of arithmetic addition, it performs concatenation. So a good beginning makes a good ending. So z contain the joint, these two phrases are joined together. The plus operator will add the two strings. Therefore, variable z will have the value a good beginning makes a good ending. This will be the content. This will be the output. The same plus operator behave differently based on the type of operands. That is important. The plus operator behaves differently in different situations. If both sides are numbers, it will perform addition. If any one of the sides is a string, it will perform concatenation. That is important. One part is string, another part is number, it will perform concatenation. If both parts are numbers, then only perform addition. If the operands are numbers, it will add numbers. If the operands are strings, it will concatenate strings. Now predict the value of z in the following code. Variable x, y, z equal to 23. Y equal to 5. Z equal to x plus y. What is x? 23. What is y? 5. This 23 is put inside quotes. So what happens? It is a string. So x plus y, one part is string, the second part is an integer or a number. What happens? This arithmetic addition will be performed if and only if both operands are numbers. Here x is a string. So instead of 28, the answer will be 235. The answer is 235. If plus operand is any one operand as string, it will treat both operands as string type and concatenate the string to get the result 235. Suppose we want to add x and y in the form of numbers. We can rewrite the last statement as follows. Now suppose a string that contains digits, if you want to add them together, you want to convert into a number, we can use the function number. This is a built-in function in JavaScript. So instead of this z equal to x plus 5, we are converting this x to a number. This x contains a string which is 2, 3. This 2, 3 can be converted into a number, that is 23. See, actually it is 2 and 3. In the case of string, it is 2, 3. It is similar to that of a, b or any symbol like that. So if you want to make this a number, if you want to make this a 23, a valid number, then we can convert this into a number. How we can convert? We have a function in JavaScript which is called the number. Number within bracket x, if we give this part will return the 23 which is in string will be converted into a 23 which is a number. So 23 plus 5, then it will become 28. After executing the above statement, the value z will have value 28. So number is a function in JavaScript that converts a string type data containing numbers to number type. Now know your progress. Some questions from your textbook. Number, string and dash are the basic data types in JavaScript. number, string and boolean are the basic data types in JavaScript. True is a dash type data. True is boolean. False is a dash type data. False is also boolean. The keyword used to declare a variable in JavaScript is var. The function used to know the type of data in JavaScript is type of, that we have seen in an example program, type of. The function used to know the type of data. Which data type? Which type of data is stored in a variable is identified using type of. What is the use of mode operator? Percentage operator is modulus operator, finds the integer remainder after division. List the logical operators. What are the logical operators? And or not. Double and makes the and, this makes or, and this makes the not. So this is all for this session. The remaining will be handled in the next class. Thank you.